Mr. Beyer is recognized.
Mr. Chairman, thank you, and Ranking Member O'Neill. Having had 12 years of Catholic education, I'm sort of going to stay away from that half of the conversation. I did get a beautiful education. I do worry, though, not for your response, about what happens when the most talented and aggressive and high initiative kids in public schools leave and leave behind the kids who don't have the parents that are paying attention or don't have the initiative or the background. And I'd love to see any data that shows that school choice raises the salaries of the teachers left behind. That'd be a wonderful thing, because you're greatly concerned that all those increases in school funding, that none of it went to the teachers. And I come from Virginia, where our teachers are still not paid at the national average. But Dr. Mellencamp, I was thrilled that you mentioned the Hampton Road Regional Workforce Training System here in Virginia as an example of a successful partnership between industry and local government and educational institutions. And I know that's been a really important factor in maintaining the industrial base there, and specifically the defense industrial base with Newport News Shipbuilding. Is there anything we can do in the federal government to incentivize the creation of programs like this around the country?
Yes, thank you. And yes, the Hampton Roads project is great. I think it trained over 900 individuals, diverse individuals, into that sector. I think it's over 90% job placement for those individuals. Majority of those individuals were TANF and food stamp recipients. But it opened the door of people who had been left out of the manufacturing sector to get a high growth, high demand skill to work in the Marine and also military aspects of manufacturing. I think that model has been replicated when we talked about the Trade Adjustment Act, the TAC program for community technical colleges. That was a sector strategy. Similar, we also talked about the North Baton Rouge Industrial Training Initiative, working with ExxonMobil. And it's just kind of bringing in a diverse group of people, working with contractors who typically did not recruit from those individuals, but once they did and built a relationship with them, the whole area has succeeded and provided pathways from individuals who coming from, just like in Hampton Roads, who are disconnected from high growth demand. There might have been a manager at Circle K, got a skill training, and now they're a machinist, a foreman, a supervisor on the manufacturing floor, and that opportunity wouldn't have been open. So the investment in Jobs Act, the modernization of WIOA, but further build out and reinvestment, I think, in TAC 2.0, it will provide that infrastructure of that type of sector strategy where community partners are at the table, businesses are at the middle, community technical colleges there providing training and other community supports, and also other supportive services is also needed. Child care, but particularly in that type of setting, we need child care for shift workers and so forth. So the opportunity is there, the demand is there, it's just kind of rebuilding the infrastructure.
Along that line, 2 years ago, we passed a huge apprenticeship bill. Bipartisan, and then in the Inflation Reduction Act, there's all kinds of additional incentives for registered apprentices. But you keep hearing from industry that they can't find the people to apply for the apprenticeships in the first place. Well, what can we do to make them more attractive and to get more people actually engaged in this? And think Switzerland or Germany.
Yes. So I think the key thing on the apprenticeship is just making people aware of those pathways. I think a lot of it through service is once somebody goes to the shop floor, once somebody's familiar what a welder does every day, if you don't come from a family of welders, you may not know about the likelihood of being a welder. So I think it's just exposing not only our parents, but also the kids and also the schools about these pathways and get them touching the equipment and showing about that. And then also showing about working in the apprenticeship program, because it's agreed upon, you pretty much, the more you learn and more skill that you can be proficient as, the more you're gonna earn. And I think it's just still, apprenticeship has been around for a very long time. There's just not a common pathway for people's careers. A lot of people think about going for a 4-year degree and they'll be well off, but there's a whole lot of different opportunities for success.
Yeah. I know this hearing's been mostly about how tax policy can affect educational freedom, educational choice. One of the things I really worry about in Virginia particularly is what are we doing with the energy workers that are being displaced. You know, we had lots of coal miners in Southwest Virginia 40 years ago, But with the advent of longwall mining, you needed many fewer miners, and then natural gas came along. So you've got a huge congressional district with a lot of unemployed coal miners, and trying to find ways to train them to put them back to work has proven very difficult. And with that, I guess I need to yield back, Mr. Chairman.